Welcome to Kermode Uncut, where we're doing our annual mid-term report for the year, counting down the best and worst films released in the UK January through June 2016. In a previous blog, we did numbers 10 to number 6 of the worst films of the year so far, and they were Batman vs Superman, Knight of Cups, Mother's Day, Rock the Casbah, and The Green Inferno. Hold on to your hats, it's time for the top 5.
Chopper down, the EMR cleared for approach.
Jericho Stewart. He's in and out of prison more than half his life. He's got no impulse control. He's unable to calculate the consequences of his actions.
So, starting at number 5, and it's criminal in every sense of the word. Do you remember last year, there was a film called Selfless, and in that film, Ben Kingsley was kind of brain splanted into the body of Ryan Reynolds. Well, in this film, Ryan Reynolds is sort of brain splanted into the body of Kevin Costner. And all this brain splanting is making Kevin's head hurt, and ours too. He then runs around Merry England punching people because of a plot which is driven by somebody called the Dutchman. How bad is the film? Well, it has a cameo by Piers Morgan, which is rapidly becoming the absolute gold seal of a total dud.
They messed with me. Thought they knew what they'd get. But they were wrong.
To what do you owe your success?
I have a natural instinct for what makes a person tick. Hannah?
Christian. Ow! That hurts. Oh, please, God! Ah!
So, on to number 4 in the worst films released in the UK between January and June, and it was my great displeasure to have to enjoy 50 Shades of Black. Yes, that's right, it's a parody of 50 Shades of Grey, but they've called it 50 Shades of Black. According to the press notes, Marlon Wayans, the genius behind this project, wondered, what if Christian Grey were black? Yeah, it's that funny.
Okay, well, what are we supposed to do then?
You need to find Jesus. That's what you can do.
An attack has decimated the British capital.
5 of the world's leaders are now dead.
Stay with me. We'll get you out of here.
The American president
Now
is unaccounted for.
So into the top 3, and at number 3, London Has Fallen, the sequel that nobody wanted to Olympus Has Fallen. Actually, I could have done with a sequel to White House Down, but no, we got this instead. The story, well, London is attacked by terrorists, and according to the news, they have decimated most of the known landmarks of the British capital. Well, at least they didn't go for the unknown landmarks. Despite the fact that they don't actually use the song America Yeah, this does seem to be essentially a live-action remake of Team America World Police without the jokes and with more wooden acting.
Rooftop, 3 o'clock!
Brace right back.
Thanks, Gerard. Keep up the good work.
Oh my God.
Ages have passed since the gods walked among us. Before the fury swept over our land. Before the war.
So, into the top 2, and as an indication of just how bad the bad films out this year so far have been, Gods of Egypt isn't at number 1. I mean, just imagine that for a moment. This is a year in which there is a film release that is worse than Gods of Egypt, which is incredible, because Gods of Egypt is intergalactically stupid. Now, as a critic, I have to point out that there is some bad blood, because Alex Proyas, the director, said that basically critics were diseased vultures. And I then did a blog saying, well, if we're diseased vultures, surely that means that we feed upon dead things. Doesn't that mean that your film is like roadkill? Apparently Alex wasn't entirely pleased about this, but look, I understand, okay? I understand why he's cross. I mean, if I'd made something as terrible as Gods of Egypt, I'd want to go around blaming everybody else. Fact of the matter is, this is all Proyas is doing. To wake up every morning and think, I made Gods of Egypt. Yikes.
I won't make that mistake.
Get off my muck!
Party till you're pregnant!
You can't catch me! On the floor! I'm in a B1 stance, I'm not dancing! I got your girl on the back of a tan!
All of which brings us to the top spot, or perhaps I should say the bottom spot, the worst film released in the UK, January to June 2016. And it is with the heaviest of hearts that I have to tell you that it's a film that features both Robert De Niro and Zac Efron, people whose work I have really admired in the past. Have you ever wanted to see a comedy in which you get to see Robert De Niro jerking off over porn? No, me neither. Have you ever wanted to see a comedy in which he repeatedly jams his thumb up Zac Efron's butt? No, neither have I. It's one of those movies that seems to go out of its way to make you hate it. It's so vile, so loathsome, so disgusting, so stupid, so unfunny, so infantile, so crass, so utterly full of its own feces that you think that it's made by people who are actually having a go at the audience. Now, I must be honest, I saw it in a screening in which there were a couple of chuckles. Some people have said to me that they found Dirty Grandpa funny. But then again, I've met people who found Sex Lives of the Potato Men funny. If you think that Sex Lives of the Potato Men is a reasonable film, you might just about get away with watching Dirty Grandpa.
I haven't had sex in 15 years and I want to... I'm gonna throw up.
I felt like I needed to bathe in Clorox. It was a film that made me feel wretched and ill and sick to my very soul. I hope that Zac Efron and Robert De Niro made staggering amounts of money out of it. It will never go away. It will stain their careers forever. It's that bad, really.
This is crack.
I just smoke crack?
Yeah, but just like a lot.
I just smoke crack!
So there you have it, my worst films of the year so far, January to June 2016. To run down that list again, at 10, Batman vs Superman. At 9, Knight of Cups. At 8, Mother's Day. In at 7, Rock the Casbah. At number 6, The Green Inferno. Number 5, Criminal. 4, 50 Shades of Black. At 3, London Has Fallen. At 2, surprisingly, Gods of Egypt, because claiming the top spot at number 1, it's Dirty Grandpa. So that's how it looks so far with the midterm report, January to June. I honestly can't imagine that there'll be a worse film than Dirty Grandpa this, or indeed any year. But hey, I never expected there to be a film that bad in the first place. A lot can happen between now and December.